Hi, I'm Dave Slippery. I mow lawns at Bay Point Christian Church, and I'd like to talk to you about the Bay Point Christian Church Community Garden. I've got some notes here that I'll refer to, so thanks for your patience. Um, Pastor and Andrew asked me a while back, what can we do with the land to the north of the church? And I didn't really have an idea. I really don't think anybody has been won to Christ because of the lawn or because of the land that we've got. And I just sort of saw it as useless. But God brought some things to my mind as I did it. First of all, as I mowed, I saw the work that Jim and Nathan had done to create a garden out there. And it intrigued me a little bit. I watched Gary as he worked out there, and he did it cheerfully, and that was sort of new to me. And then I began to realize I was a lifelong gardener. Marnie's maid of honor had introduced us to hydroponics about 15 years ago, so I'd done some hydroponic gardening. And I'd owned a fish store, so I knew a lot about fish, and it just sort of brought a lot of common interests in my background together. And the idea that came to my mind was build an aquaponic garden on Jim and Nathan's work. And so the sort of light bulb in my head was build it and they will come. Well, who are they? They are the city of St. Petersburg. What you're going to see is that aquaponics is sort of center of the bullseye for the interest of people in this community. They just love everything that deals with this. And I love it too. And it's a common ground where you can really develop some shared interests and relationships, okay? My children like it. So I find when I'm talking with my kids, we're always talking about this. I have to try to talk less about it and more about other things in our family. And my grandchildren. My grandchildren just love watching fish, and it's a shared interest, and it's something that you can talk about that doesn't sound anything like church, but it talks everything about church. So why would we want to have a garden? Well, first of all, God loves garden. He created us in a garden, and to tend his garden. And so it's a natural, built-in interest that we all share with all of humanity. In fact, God met with God. Jesus and God talked together in a garden right before he was crucified. So he found solace in the ability to talk to his dad in a garden. Okay. The second thing would be Jesus did this miracle of the feeding of the 5,000 using aquaculture. Okay, so he used fish and food to feed multitudes. Now the fish behind me are tilapia, and they come from the Nile. They're Nile tilapia. They were probably in the Sea of Galilee. They may very well have been the kind of fish that Jesus used to feed 5,000 people. So it's sort of aha moment there. And these fish can help to raise gardens. They provide all the nutrients for gardens. Moses, another reason why we would do it, Moses gave a song. He sang a song in Deuteronomy 34, and in that song he commanded us to do some things. And one of the things was, he says, ascribe greatness to our God. And the greatness of his creation, what I'm finding is I'm learning something every day. Sometimes I learn it before breakfast. There's so much greatness that we can talk about God with in a garden. And it's a new way to reach people. So we can reach people that would never come to our church, but they will come to our garden, and they have come to our garden. So I've met many people already and shared interests and developed relationships, people that would never come to church, okay? But they come to the garden, and I can talk to them about and ascribe the greatness of God to the garden and how it's constructed. So what can you do with a church garden? Is it their garden or is it your garden? It is actually your garden. First thing you can do is you can pray. Without prayer, nothing works. The second thing, you can talk about the garden and just mention it to people. It's sort of weird. People are interested in it. You can talk about it. And you can talk about, as weird as it feels to you, that's our garden. You can invite your family and friends to look at the garden and go out there and see the things that are in it. It's interesting, and it'll interest your family. It'll interest your grandkids, just like my grandkids. You can help by caring for starter plants. So I'm going to need like about 150 starter plants every week, okay? Now I will plant them. I've got all the stuff. I will plant the seeds and put them in a starter garden, but I've got a lot of things that I'm taking care of, so inevitably I'm killing like 30-40 of my starters plants in every set of 72. I can give them to you on a Sunday. You can take them and raise them for 3-4 weeks until they're nice, sturdy, and healthy, and give them back to me. What I do is I wash them off and I put them in the garden once a week. I need about 150 of them. You don't have to do anything but care for them, to watch them, to give them some sun and some water, and protect them, okay? Protect them from me. You can help care for the garden. There's plenty of things to do out in the garden. If you want to care for fish, these fish back here, they're mouth brooders, so all of a sudden one of the fish will have her mouth full of eggs, and I can give you that fish in an aquarium, and you can watch her and convince her that she needs to wait till the eggs hatch and not eat the eggs, okay? So if you take care of her, she'll hatch the eggs will turn into fry. At some point you want to get her out of there because kids are a problem and she'll just eat them, okay? You can help care for the garden. There's all sorts of work that could be done out there. You can buy produce from the garden, and I'm sure there's other things that you can think of in the future. So I just wanted to introduce you to the Brook Bay Point Christian Church Garden, and welcome you out there. It's your garden. It's not my garden. My aquaponics, but your garden. Actually, God's aquaponics. So we'll see you later. Thanks. Bye.